Legends say, if I bring an amulet to the altar of the dead late at night, it will summon the most drippiest skeleton that has ever existed. Oh my gosh! He's wearing a sombrero! What the hell?! Hello, what's up people of the internet? It is me, Dark313 Knight, back again with a brand new mod showcase for you guys today. And today we're going to be checking out the Myths and Legend mod showcase. It's a mod that adds many cool things from mythological and like legends all around the world. It's a very fairly small mod, but it adds a lot of interesting things like armor, trinkets, mobs, and a few bosses. So without further ado, let's get straight into it, and let's start with the Possess Armors. With the Possess Armors, you can find them in like structures like this. All around the world, you're gonna see this and a few others I'll show later on. And when you come into these structures, you're gonna find the Possess Armors. These guys are just gonna be like wandering around the structures. There won't be all these lanterns here, and they're fairly noisy. But yeah, they're gonna be just all around here, and they are easily vanquished. Not easily. I do have strength like 100, but still. They're not that hard to beat, I'm gonna be real with you. But here's some of their attacks. They swing their swords. They do 1.5 hearts. And keep in mind, I'm in full netherite. So they are definitely not something you want to rush in here. And like when I first started, like making this world, there were 3 in this one room. So if full netherite, they can do 1 heart damage, then I am horrified on what they're gonna do if you are, let's say, like in iron armor or not wearing armor at all. Actually, let's check it out. Let's try just the helmet. Yep, they almost one-shot me with just the helmet. So 100% guys, be careful when you're fighting these guys, because the Possess Armors, they don't play. And the Possess Armor will drop a Iron Ingot and a Possess Armor Scrap. No, a Possess Armor Fragment. And you may be like, Dark, what can I do with the Possess Armor Fragment? You can make that into hold up, give me a second. What is this? Bound Soul Ingot. Bound Soul Ingot. You just need to put it in the blast furnace. It does not work on a normal furnace, so do not try to put it in a normal furnace, because nothing will happen. But if you put it in some blast furnace, you will get Bound Soul Ingot, and this is very important because it's very essential for all the future crafting recipes we'll be looking at this mod. Alright, there's also another important thing that you need to find, which is found in these barrels over here, which is Curse Core. Curse Core is very important, and you can find it by 1 mob drop from one of these creatures I'm going to be showing off, and in these like tower bridges things that we're currently in. And this structure, they spawn in the barrel. Alright, so they have 1. So we have 2 in this barrel, and there's probably 2 in the other side. So you can get 2 curse cores in this structure. So I would highly recommend you go and look for a structure like this to get started with the mod. Alright, first crafting recipe we get into is this, the emblem. Alright, basically it takes 4 of these Bound Soul Ingots and 1 Curse Core in the middle, and you can get this emblem. We do have this, what you call it? This like little star thing where you can add these little abilities. And the emblem will reduce damage received from Possess Armors by 25%, and it's a body. So it goes on the body. And now whenever those armor things attack me, I will take 25% less damage. So it's super useful if you are trying to like farm these guys so they don't deal as much damage as they are. And then let's hop in to the custom armor that comes with the Bind Soul Ingot, which is the Iron Shade the Iron Shade armor set. So first, we got the Iron Shade boots, which is as simple as just 4 soul bond ingots in a boot-like pattern. Then we have the leggings, the Shade Iron leggings, which are 3 on either side. And then in the middle, we have a Cursed Core. The Cursed Core is going to be in most of these crafting recipes, except the boots. The boots don't take no Cursed Core. But everything else will take Cursed Core. So we got 1 in the middle and then 3 on either side. Then for the chest plate, we got a whole U shape with 1 in the middle of the chest plate, a Cursed Core. And then for the helmet, we have 4 on 2 on either side, and then 1 in the forehead area. And I'm not gonna lie, this armor set looks sick as heck. And one of the coolest thing about this armor set is when you have a full set of this armor, you will get strength 3. Or no, wait. Strength 1 while under the sun and strength 2 while under moonlight. So if you craft this armor, you will naturally just have strength 1 just during the day. And then the second the moonlight comes out, you'll have strength 2. So it'll make you stronger at night so you can beat off those mobs. Or beat away those mobs. But this isn't the only armor set. Even though it does look cool, there is another armor set you can craft, which is... Hold up, give me a second. Let me put all this away. Boink, 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 boink. Which is... Snag. The Soul Piercer armor set, which is very cool because it gives you speed and night vision under the moonlight. So this is a very handy armor to have during the night. So if you are curious on how to craft this, it's as easy as just replacing some of the soul bound soul ingots with some blue wool. So here, instead of putting 4 bound soul ingots, you put 2 blue wool on top and 2 soul bound ingots on the bottom, and then you got the boots. To make the pants, you got 4 in total soul bond ingots, 1 Cursed Core, and then 2 blue wools in the bottom, and then bang, that's the pants. Then the chest plate is a U shape or a boat shape of what you call it, soul bond ingots, and then we got 2 blue wool and a Cursed Core in the middle, which gives you this swanky, cool looking chest plate. And then for the helmet, 1 on either side of soulbound ingot, a Cursed Core, and then blue wool on either side. And that will give you the helmet. This armor set looks absolutely gorgeous, and I way prefer it over the Iron Shade armor set, because this armor set, 1, gives you night vision, so it's amazing for traveling at night, plus it gives you speed. And now let me show you how the armor set looks on a player. So you put this on, you immediately get speed, so that immediately kicks in. Whether you're under the moonlight or not, you just get speed naturally. Night vision only kicks in when the sun goes down. And this is how you look. I'm not gonna lie, I love the shaded look it gives you, because my skin is naturally like this, but the minute you put on the helmet, it shades a part of your skin, so it makes you look all cool and mysterious. Plus, this is how it looks in third person. You do have a quiver. It does not have a use. It's just there aesthetically. But this is the armor, and I love it. And to base on what this armor is, it's by the Possess Armor Archer. And this is him right here. He has his little bow. He shoots. You're going to find this guy in another area I'm going to show off in the future. But he's like just a more like chill skeleton. He misses a lot of his shots. If you just strafe, just go left and right. And then he missed a lot of his shots. And of course, he has 30 health, much like the other one has. And you can easily take him out. And he will drop, hold up. He will drop Iron Ingot, Possess Armor, what you got? Possess Armor Fragment, and Blue Wool. And those are the things he dropped. And that's all for this armor, the possess armor. Wait, no. We have one more possess armor that I will show off here in a second. Alright, see y'all at the final possess armor piece. Okay, here we are at another structure that can spawn in your world, which is a camp. These camps will spawn like the archer and the one, the only possess armor Inquisitor. The possess armor Inquisitor, which will drop possess armor fragments, iron ingots, and the cursed core. This guy is no joke. He is one of the bosses or one of the mini bosses that this mod adds, and he shouldn't be taken lightly. You'll walk in here and you can already see him in that corner over there, and he will rush towards you and he can do that, which is crazy. Alright, he can dash towards you. He will try to swing at you, but as long as you keep your distance, you should be fine. He does, I think he slows you down, or that may be an effect of this armor. But he does just dash towards you, so be very careful. He has 100 health, and I am struggling with this. And he can also summon possess armors like he just did. So be very careful about that. Be very on your guard. He's gonna summon them. He's gonna summon more here in a second. And something cool about all the possess armors is once they're pretty low, their skin and their model will show that they're damaged, much like how he's gaining like broken pieces. Alright, he's currently unconscious. If you do deal enough damage, he'll just be knocked out for a while, and then once you defeat him, he will drop he may drop a cursed core. It's not 100% drop chance. And he's gonna drop some possess armor fragments and some nuggets. And of course, he won't only spawn those armors, but he'll also spawn the archers. And the archers do spawn in these camp naturally at night, so be aware of that. And that's all the armors we have. And now on to something more interesting. Alright, here we are. We find ourselves for this next part in the Nether, and we're going to be explaining all the mobs you can find here in the Nether, starting with the Scorched Sentinel. The Scorched Sentinel can be found in the Scorched like nest, and you'll just find him in here. It's a little basalt room that you can just find him in, and it will come with a chest. These chests will contain nether wart, the ring, and ethereal flame, which is very important to craft something that you will need to fight a boss later. And this ring will reduce damage received from nether creatures by 20%. So that's counting blaze, wither skeleton, and all the new mobs that this adds, and all other mobs that can be found in the Nether. So I highly suggest picking up this ring. But this guy is no slouch either, and you will have to fight him in close combat. So let's go ahead and check how that feels like. So we are in here, and he does. I am wearing full Iron Shade armor, and he is dealing a good amount of damage. His main attack looks like to just hug you. It just seems like he will just rush up and just constantly hug you. But not a good hug, like a kind of I'm gonna murder you hug. So he's not that hard, and he doesn't have any cool abilities. I'm kind of stuck in a hole, so we're just gonna skedaddle out of here using the spectator mode. But yeah, let me go more in depth over here, and yep. Well, this little guy, or this very tall guy, will drop scorched bones and scorched skin, which can then be used in a crafting recipe like so, with a, I don't even know what that is, Adirian core, to make a molten fist. The molten fist is fairly cool because you can summon a row of molten rock to raise from the fiery crust. I'm not gonna lie, this is a super cool weapon. It does 16 attack damage, which is fire, and it also has a second of cooldown, but it is so cool, and it will light nearby enemies that are hit with the Molten Fist on fire, like so. So let's say you have a row of creepers, bing bada boom, or maybe I read that wrong, but you can just summon these lava rocks to just lay waste to your enemies. I kind of hit the imp, and I kind of showed off the cool thing the imp does, but I ain't gonna lie, this gauntlet is definitely worth crafting, and I will 100% be going for it if I ever play this mod, which I probably will. Alright, so that's this, but you may be asking, how do I get this core? Well, I'll show you right here. You have to travel to Netherwart Crimson biome and fight this thing. I again think it's adorate, but I suck at reading, so don't quote me on that. And this little creature will spawn in Crimson Netherwart biomes or Crimson Forest, and he is not to be trifled with. He has the same attack that the fist has, but on mega steroids. So he will just slam his fist on the ground, making a whole row of molten lava rocks appear. So your best bet is just dodging him like that, and the minute you knock him out, he's down for the count. But again, let me show you how it looks close up. The second he touched the ground, I would highly recommend you just move, and he does just normally smack you. But again, he has 14 health, and he's not that hard to take out. And once you take him out, he has a chance of dropping his core. And then we have the lantern. Alright, the lantern is a very simple mob. They'll just slap you with their lantern. Just over and over. Just slap you with their lantern. I don't think they have any special abilities, but we'll find out now. Yet, they deal a lot of damage, though. These guys definitely deal a lot of damage. They do have a dash ability, it looks like, where they do dash towards you, or they're just really fast. But they'll just smack you with their lantern. Nothing really major. Just smack you with their little lantern. And then after you knock them out, they have a chance of dropping an ethereal flame, which is again gonna be super useful for a boss we're gonna cover later on. You can also get the ethereal flame by, I messed up here guys, so bear with me, by smelting not a normal lantern but a soul lantern. If you get a soul lantern and you smelt it in a blast furnace, it has to be a blast furnace, can't be a normal furnace now, you can get a ethereal flame, which again will be used to make this amulet that will be 100% used to summon a boss. So again, if you guys come across an ethereal flame, I would highly recommend pocketing it. Alright, and now we're getting close, and the last mob we really have is the imp. I really like the imp because it has a unique mechanic, which I will be showing off now. Alright, you will find these guys, by the way, you'll find this, like, chilling in warp forests, and you'll find the imp just chilling near lava lakes in the nether weights. Alright, and something cool about the imp, it will launch little fireballs at you, but not only that, my guy, move, I want to fight the imp, not you. Move. Alright. Let me in there, imp. Let me in. You can't avoid me. Right now, he's not setting me on fire, because of course I have fire resistance thanks to the God Apple, but usually when he hits you with those little fireballs, he would set you on fire, and he only has 5 HP. But when you kill him, he splits off into 2 little imps. Both will shoot fireballs at you, which is fairly cool. I really like that mechanic, and I think it's super cool. How once they're dead, they won't be defeated, but just split into 2 halves. Alright? And of course, the imp has a chance of dropping the fire heart. The fire heart is a belt slot item, and the fire heart will slowly heal the wearer. So if you have the fire heart equipped and you take damage, for example, you will slowly heal over time. So let me get smacked by this goober a few times and show you what the fire heart is all about. As you can see, I've been smacked. Obviously, hold up, let me get hungry. Well, you guys just have to take my word for it because I am very well, like, fed right now. But yeah, the fire heart will heal you over time, so it's very good to have. So I highly recommend you guys just go on an imp extermination journey to get that fire heart, because I'm not going to hold you. Any type of healing is good in my book. And that is all the nether mobs, and we are on to the stony peaks to check out the gargoyles. Okay, here we are in the Stony Peaks to fight the Gargoyles. Gargoyles will exclusively spawn in Stony Peaks and Stony Shores. So make your way into something that looks like this. These mountains with these stony like peaks. Or those beaches with those stony shores. And they're pretty interesting in my opinion. One of the most interesting mobs in this pack, because during the daytime they are statues. They cannot be hit, cannot be harmed unless you have a pickaxe. If you go up to these things with a pickaxe during the day, you can deal damage. They have 16 hearts. So you can just pick away at them. So if you are scared to fight them during the nighttime where they awaken, you can always just wait until the daytime until they're stone and just go at them with a pickaxe. Alright? They will drop pieces of themselves like gargoyle heads, gargoyle like torsos, gargoyle wings, and gargoyle arms and legs, which are super useful and be used over there to craft something special that I'll go over here in a minute. But other than those pieces, they will also drop gargoyle fragments and gargoyle shards. These gargoyles are fairly interesting because with these gargoyle fragments, you can make a shield. You can make the stony shield, which is fairly cool and fairly awesome. You just need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 gargoyle, I think, fragments, right? Gargoyle fragments. And then you need 1 gargoyle shards in a pattern much like this, much like how you would make a normal shield, and you'll get the stony shield. Stony shield's fairly awesome, fairly cool. I'm not gonna hold you. And yeah, you can of course put it on your offhand and you can defend like that. And you can also make a stony axe, I think. Hold up. No, a gargoyle axe, which looks super cool. And you can just take those shards, those gargoyle shards, and put them as any like ingots or diamonds. And then use the gargoyle fragments as sticks. And then you can get yourself a gargoyle axe. I'm not gonna lie, the gargoyle axe has a ground pound attack. If you crouch and right click the ground, you can do this little ground. Well, you don't even need to crouch. You just need to right click the ground and you can do this little ground pound attack, knocking everything near you back, which is super cool, super awesome. And with this newfound armor, we will fight a horde of gargoyles. Alright, I will show them off and I will show you guys how strong they are. The second night times come, they will awaken and start running towards you. They also have the ground pound attack like the axe has. And they also will chase you, they'll hit you, they'll knock you back with their ground pound, but the axe does deal a good amount of damage. So if you just keep at it and you just keep hitting them and don't give up. Oh no. Oh yeah, there is a knockout effect. If these mobs do deal a good amount of damage, you will be disoriented for a while. You won't be able to attack and your screen will zoom in like you got slowness. So try not to get attacked that much. But again, you should be good because it is like you have to be taking an insane amount of damage. Which is, yeah. But as you can see, I got pieces of the gargoyle, like gargoyle legs and gargoyle head. And, oh look, a phantom. Go away. Go away, you're not a part of this showcase, homie. Alright? But, we're just gonna ignore the phantom for now. Or better yet, burn, baby, burn. Yeah, phantom. I know everyone in the comments that hate phantom, type W phantom for burning. Yes, burn. Alright, and then we can make, and the final thing we should make relating to the gargoyle is a stone table. Guys, I highly recommend you make this stone table because this will give you a pet, which is available in this mod. And you may be like, Dark, how do I make the stone table? It's polished deep slate, chisel deep slate, and 1 cursed core in this order. You got 3, 3 polished deep slate on the bottom, 1 cursed core in the middle, 2 polished deep slate on either side with a chisel deep slate in the middle to make the stone table. And you may be like, Dark, why would I want a stone table? Well, wouldn't you like your own pet gargoyle? Yes, you heard me right. You can have a pet gargoyle, but you may be like, Dark, how do I get one? Well, look no further than the stone table. You just assemble all your gargoyle pieces like so. Go in here in the stone table and just shift right click all of this in here. And then put your curse core in the middle, and then boom, you have a gargoyle effigy. This gargoyle effigy is a gargoyle that you can place down. But the only difference is, during the daytime, of course, it's not going to move. It's just going to stay stationary. He's not going to move. But during the nighttime, when the nighttime comes, he will awaken. But unlike his other gargoyle, this guy's friendly. You can hit him, you can smack him, he won't do anything to you. He's your friend till the end, and he'll even defend you against other mobs, much like gargoyles. He'll even defend you against gargoyles. So if I spawn this gargoyle in, they will just straight up go at it. And my boy and they will just straight up beat the hell out of each other, which I ain't gonna lie, is awesome to have your own pet gargoyle, but of course I'm gonna let my boy live, because he's the GOAT. Good job, my guy. Good job, guys. Let's give him a name in the comments, alright? This little cool gargoyle soldier of mine. And of course, during the day, he will stone up. And he can be affected much like any other gargoyle. If you smack him with a pickaxe, he will die, even in his stony state. And yeah. But the good thing is, when he dies, he will drop some of his pieces. Not all of them, but he may drop a head, a leg, a foot, a wing, a arm, and such and such. He won't drop the, curse core though. So don't hold him up with that. And that was the gargoyle. And on we go to the next mob. And here we are in the snow biome to check out our next 2 mobs. We have the wolf. I'm not going to try to pronounce that because that looks like it would make my tongue fall out of my mouth. So I'm just going to call it the fancy wolf. The fancy wolf spawns in snow biomes only under a full moon though. So if you guys want to run into this fancy looking wolf, you have to wait until a full moon hits and these guys will spawn. The fancy wolf drops its fur and, well, hold up, give me a second, essence of the fancy wolf. Again, I'm not going to try his name because his name literally looks like it would make my tongue fall out of my mouth. But his hide is useful for a armor set. Yes, sirree, we got the fancy wolf armor set, which is the Frost Howl armor set, which is super cool. And when wearing the full armor set, you will get speed 1 while treading through snow and ice and immunity to freezing. So you know that annoying status effect you get when you fall into ice or powdered snow and your character starts getting like icicles on its screen and you start like dying from freezing? Well, if you wear the armor set to its full the full armor set, you will not have that problem anymore. All right, so you may be like, how do I craft the armor set? Well, it's quite simple. It's just hide, much like how you would craft any armor. No fancy curse cores or none of that. Just hide. If you want a helmet, just make hide helmet, hide chest plate, hide leggings, and hide boots. And here's the full armor set. Let me show it off real quick for y'all. And yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's pretty awesome. I'm going to show it off right now. And we put it on. And of course, the second we wear the full armor set, we should get swiftness because we're in the snow, but it may not work. And that guy immediately started attacking me. And as you can see, the snowy wolf does have a cool ability that it will chase you normally and bite you like so. But if you are out of range from it, it will just start launching these ice balls at you that you will have to dodge. He's no slouch, So I would recommend you bring good armor and lots of golden apples to fight him. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I love the animation and I love his attacks. I love how none of these mobs are kind of like boring. And when you do defeat him, he'll let out one last frosty howl and he'll disappear, leaving either some of his hide or his... Whoa, 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 homie, whoa, calm down, calm down, calm down. You need to go to sleep now, doggo. You need to go to sleep. You need to... No, stop launching your icy balls in my face, doggo. Go, fancy wolf. Go silently into that blue moon. As you can see, he did drop his hide there. So, you can get an essence of this. And you may be like, Dark, why do I even need the essence? Like, what is the essence used for? Well, I'm glad you asked, because with the essence, you can put, what you got? Hold up. Bond soul eye ingot. Yeah, bond soul ingot in a helmet formation with the essence in the middle and 2 iron ingots on either side with the emerald to get the necklace. The necklace will increase your melee damage by 30%, which is a amazing ability, and I highly recommend you guys go out into the snowy biomes during a full moon to try to snag this necklace, because I'm not gonna lie, freaking 30% more melee damage is insane. Alright, so I highly recommend you guys go snag that up. And there is one more mob, but his drops aren't implemented. And this is the Fuzzy Yeti looking thing. Again, I'm not going to try that name because that name looks far too complicated for me. But he is a cool little dude. He has 50 HP and he will just run at you. He just spawns in snowy biomes like snowy peaks and snowy plains. And he'll just basically run at you and just smack you. And his smack does give you the frozen status effect, same as if you were like drowning in powdered snow. You can smack him a few times, and yeah, he's pretty easy. He's not that hard to beat, and he does drop 2 things, but those 2 things are yet to be implemented into the mod fully, and that is the frozen heart that is currently under development, and the horn, which is currently under development. I'm guessing the horn will spawn a friendly one of these to defend you, and maybe the frozen heart will make some like a blizzard or something around you. I have no idea, but those are all the ice mobs, and I'll see you all over in the next part. And for the swamp areas, there are a little mob that spawns here in the swamps at night called the Elp. The Elp doesn't have any unique drops or anything, but he does have a cool feature about him that he will come and just steal like any item of yours and just run off with it. And you will have to defeat the Elp to get it back. So as you can see, he just yoinked my boots. And he'll just yoink anything in your inventory. He'll just come up and steal it real fast. This is how the Yelp looks. As you can see, he just stole my netherite sword and he'll just run off with it. He does not attack you. He only attacks you once, and that is to steal your item. And he does spawn here in the swamps. He doesn't really have anything cool to like drop or anything. He's just more of an annoyance, and he will yoink your stuff and just run off with it. So, and you will have to kill it to get your stuff back, and I felt like that was important enough to like mention, because he is one of the mobs that do spawn here, and I think that's a Yelp right there. No, that is a zombie villager. And now on to the final 2 mobs that this mod adds, which is the boss fight and the tortured soul. And there we go. That's one of the Elp right there. As you can see, he just hid behind that tree. Alright, I'll see you guys all over at the graveyard. And here we are at the final structure and the final 2 mobs. Alright, the final structure is the graveyard, which can spawn in any biome. Our graveyard happens to spawn in a desert, which is a common spawning place for this next mob I'm gonna show you before the boss, which is the soul. Alright, this guy, he will spawn in deserts, graveyards, and soul sand valleys, and he's just a ghost, basically. He's super fast. He just taps you like so, and he has a chance of dropping an internal flame or ethereal flame, alright? And again, the ethereal flame is important because it will make a soul bender amulet. Soul Bender's Amulet. And it's easy to make a Soul Bender Amulet. It is just 1 gold and surrounded by gold ingots with 1 ethereal flame in the middle. And then all you want to do is take this amulet to... hold up. Boink. A altar of the dead. The altar of the dead will naturally spawn in the middle of graveyards, but if you want to craft one, it's fairly easy. You just need 4 chiseled deep slate, which is in a formation like so, just 4 chiseled deep slate. 4 marigolds will be found in graveyards, so you're gonna have to go to a graveyard anyways, because the groves will just naturally spawn in graveyards. And then you need 2 black candles and a skull, and that will give you an altar of the dead. Again, I just recommend you just take yourself over to a graveyard, and in the middle of the graveyard you will also see the altar of the dead surrounded by candles. Again, can I give a huge compliment to the mod developer for making such a cool atmosphere. And I have a special connection to this because I am half Mexican, and marigolds and the boss we're about to fight are from Mexican folklore. Our marigolds are placed on the tombs of our deceased loved ones during the Day of the Dead to lead them back home. So it has a very significant representation. And this boss is the Charro Negro, which is basically the boogeyman or basically the deal with the devil in Mexican folklore. He is a skeleton that wears a sombrero and a suit that will come to desperate people to make deals with them for their souls. And you may be asking, how do I fight such a legendary combatant? Well, it's as easy as bringing the Soul Bender Amulet to a altar of the dead at nighttime, and it will play this super cool animation summoning the Black Charro. He has many cool attacks. One of them is summoning these bombs towards you, and he will also summon these souls to attack you, which is very hard. And whoa. He will also spit voice lines towards you, while you're fighting him. And again, he'll just keep summoning these guys. I highly recommend you guys get full netherite. The armor that this mod adds will not cut this fight. Trust me. This guy's no joke. He will just continue to teleport away, and he'll just continue to summon more minions to cover him. But lucky for us, he does deal damage to his own minions. And I really like him. He has such a cool range of abilities, and he does teleport a lot around. And whoa, spooky noise. Oh, and he just entered his second phase where he just flies above you, and this is again not an easy boss fight. He's just gonna fly up there and shoot bombs all over the place. This is also why it's important to bring a good bow. I should have probably enchanted this bow with some magic or something, but sadly I didn't think that far ahead, so I'm just gonna have to hit him like this. And again, it's important to bring golden apples, guys. Make sure you bring at least some enchanted golden apples or something. But you just lay waste him like so. Just keep hitting him. He does give you blindness, which sucks because it makes him hard to see. Because right now, the only reason I can see him is because I have a damage indicator mod that's making him fairly easy to see. Oh, I just got out of his blindness range. So now I can see him perfectly fine. I'm just gonna keep smacking him from afar. I'm not gonna lie, you can also do this. I think this is a way to cheese the boss fight, just getting far away. But he also shoots lightning, which is super cool. I wouldn't recommend you get near him when he's doing said lightning strikes, because I'm pretty sure he will hit you with lightning, lighting you on fire. But again, it's a super cool boss fight. I'm kind of just finding a way to cheese it right now. But yeah, thank God for my good aim, he says as he misses most of his shots. But I'm not gonna lie, it is kind of far. I'm gonna swim through here, re-inflict myself with the blindness, sadly. Because the second you do get close to him, he will blind you and he will start shooting his projectiles at you. But I kind of want to get close to him so I can hit more of my shots. Die! Feel my power! The power of the bow! If I can hit a shot! There you go. And we should be almost there if I can hit one measly shot. And he's dead, I think. And he has a super cool animation when he dies. Hopefully we get to see it here. There we go. There's the cool animation. I will show it to you guys one more time because that kind of like... we kind of missed it because he was floating in the air and he was so far away. But I'll show you guys one more time so you guys can see the cool animation he does with... Alright, here we go. We just go back over here. Keep in mind, he is a hard boss fight, so I do recommend you get full netherite and some golden apples and enchant your gear a little bit. Keep in mind, I had to eat 4 golden apples to stay alive during that boss fight, and I cheesed it. But let's just take a moment to admire his skin, his skull on his, like, shoulder, his cape on the other, the awesome sombrero, and just the flower on his back, and his ominous evil laughs. I just love this boss so much, and he's just so cool. And of course, you can just deal damage to him like so. Oh yes, the cactus strat, trust the cactus strat always carries. Alright, and then he enters his second phase, which is fairly annoying. Hold up, I think I can just remedy just doing that by just showing you guys. No. Alright, bang, smack. Alright, that guy's a mess, but this is how he looks, and he has some of the coolest dying animation I've ever seen. Because when you finally defeat him, he will literally sink back into the ground, and he does drop a weapon 100% of the time, which is a sword. And this is no ordinary sword for you, mind you. This sword does 8 attack damage, alright? Which is as good as a netherite sword, but not only as good as a netherite sword, but if you right click, you summon one of the skulls he throws at you during the boss fight, which is super cool and super awesome. Again, this is a very good sword and a very handy weapon to have, especially when you're fighting like mobs in this mod. And again, I think that is everything the mod currently adds. And if you do like this video and you want to see more mod showcases by me, the one, the only Dark313 Knight, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to see more. And that was the Myth and Legend mod pack. Not the mod pack, but mod. You can download it. There will be a link in the description to download the mod. And like always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. All of you guys have been amazing, fantastic, and incredible people. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out and bye.